Hola, it's me again, Dawn. Welcome to another episode of Direct 101. Today we're going to talk about pricing. So I have already pulled up here property, which shows the price on Direct, Airbnb, and VRBO. This property does not have a connected booking.com, but if they do have one, you can also monitor it the same way that I'm going to show here. To do that, from your properties page, click on a property that you wish to identify, click on each one of them. These are actually clickable. It takes you to the listings itself. I already opened that up, so I'll just close this for this one. Before we go to those pages, let's look at our calendar. In here, we are going to use the example as 22nd to the 25th of July, which as you see are listed at $142 each. Now you would notice that the source that we have here is API, which means that this user actually uses a dynamic pricing platform. Maybe Price Labs or Beyond Pricing or something else that you have added. But if not, then it would put in the source as your lead listing. On some has Airbnb, some has VRBO, depending on what your setup is. But that's the first thing that we need to know. We see here the price is $142. Now, if we go to each and every of the platform, we'll be able to notice that the nights are actually listed at $149 for direct, $149 for Airbnb, and VRBO has it for $153. Why is that so, and how do I make it that way? To do that, we're gonna look at our setup from Hospitable. We're gonna go to Settings, Preferences. From here, we have Properties, where we actually input markups. So in here, we have set up markups to be 3%, 8%, or 15% on those platform, which would make those properties higher than the other. Now, these markups are based on the entire OTA, based on the information, but can also be overridden, as you see here, on each and every platform. To do that, or each and every listing, to do that, you'll go to properties from here. I already have one. And then from pricing, you can set up and change the amounts in here. So as you can see, Airbnb is 3%, VRBO is 8%, and we have 0 for direct. Now, we should be wondering why we're still getting the 149 on the amount here instead of a 142 amount. So let's get that for you. Hold on. Looking back here, we have $142 for each night, and it's for 3 nights. If we go back to the pricing on what makes it up, it wasn't changed by the markups because we have 0 markup rate for direct. So it should still remain at 142. But why does it show 149? If we go back to the properties pricing, we'll be able to see that this property has additional prices included, which is the management fee and community fee that only applies to direct. So these amounts are added to our total. So that's 142 plus 142 plus 142, because that's 3 nights, plus 10, which is the community fee, plus 10, which is what's the other one that they added? Management fee. So that's $20. In total, that will be 446, and then we divide it again by 3, which would make our total 148.66, which gives us the total, which is $149 for each night. Again, the pricing that you set up in the pricing setup of the properties, or pricing settings of the properties, dictates how much your total will be. The fees that are listed here, resort fee, management fee, and community fee, is added to the nightly rate, coupled to the nightly rate, and is not listed as a separate charge, which means if there are discrepancies in your total on the calendar and what it should be, it may be coming from this and then subdivided to the total, which makes up the amount that way. As you can see, these prices are not synced to Airbnb. These are actually already changed. If we are copying something from Airbnb, it would look like this one. If we change it directly here, it will disconnect it to Airbnb and would only apply it to direct. That means that it would show the difference. Now for Airbnb, it should have a different pricing. It still shows $149. We can't really see on our end what other pricing you have in there, but we know for a fact that there's a 3% markup. So from 142, yeah, from 142, we have 3%, so times 1.03 is a 3%. It's 146.26, plus they may have some fees that are coupled with it, which we do not see really, or here is the actual. They have different rates, 149, 149, 150 for each of the night, which makes up the 1494, the 3 nights, and base fare at, or base rate at $448. VRBO has a 7% markup, which is why the amount is different, and fees that may be on the platform that we don't show, that we don't see, may also be adding up to the total to make it different. But then again, this page that we have in here only shows the amount for direct. It's a one-way street. We show this information and we do not transfer it to other listings. So if you edit the cleaning fee here to make it 200, it will only make it 200 for direct, and Airbnb will remain at 100. If you change Airbnb at 300, then direct is going to remain at 100 or 200 if you already made that change. Now, other than this pricing, of course, we have taxes. If you are on direct premium, which we're showing here, the taxes will be shown on this section. And we copied how Airbnb does it on the first page to only show total before taxes. If we do try to continue to reserve both of them, let's see our totals. Our Airbnb hikes up to $722.56 with a $97 tax. And we have for direct $669.18 with a tax of $80.42. The difference in taxes, of course, would come from the charges that we collect. The service fee is taxed, therefore the tax is different from the amount that is collected from Airbnb. Goes the same for VRBO. Here's their total. There. Host fee, there's the service fee, their taxes even higher, 99, because again of the nightly rate. And that's how you differentiate the pricing on direct. To work on having your direct even lower than your other properties, you can change your markup, add a negative markup in here. That will work. -2, -3, -5, up to you. Direct basic is a little bit different as we have no service fee for legacy users and 1% for pro plans for direct basic, and taxes are added on your end. To add the taxes for direct basic, you're going to go to pricing where we set the amounts earlier. And right here under the discount, you would see a taxes section where you would need to manually add your specific taxes. I hope this helps you out in setting your pricing. And on the calendar, by the way, if you were going to change the price, you just need to click it in here and type in the number that you wish to edit. What it would do is transfer that amount to all platforms. It will apply that way. For example, I'll do this as 150. You would notice that it will calculate the pricing. It should be on Direct, on Airbnb, and on VRBO. It doesn't apply until you save it, but at least it gives you a quick look of how the pricing would be. You may want to use this whenever you're doing or you're asking someone to book at a specific rate if you're not using codes yet. I'll have another video for direct codes that you can check out if you wish to send a specific pricing for your guests. Let us know if you have any questions. Message us at support@hospitable.com as always. Thank you. Bye.